Hello guys, very good afternoon. Today is 20th of September and man, what a trading day today it has been. So current time is 3:40 p.m. IST. So before I begin today's episode number 6, just like to share the trading involves substantial risk. It's not suitable for everyone. And the data or the information or the trade setups and the trade knowledge which I share is only for educational purpose only, and it should not be used for your trading decisions. So with that, let me quickly start with what has happened in Nifty, and let me quickly go to the daily chart and I'll just show you. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so if you consider yesterday's profile or yesterday what had happened from the price action perspective is it was in a 2-day balance and then there was a big breakdown. Okay, so this was a big breakdown, and from the price action perspective, if you see, so 10,800 was a big, so last level of support is at 10,600 and 10,800. So this was the swing low. So this was a big area of support which got broken. So what I was expecting is a continuation to the down move, which did not happen today. So let me quickly go through the market profile chart and let me just zoom a bit and I'll just quickly show you what I was thinking from the open perspective. So yesterday's profile, if you see, there was a sharp rejection from the value area low and it was just moving down. So the auction was developing down. So the sellers, so the overall confidence was strong. It was able to take out the previous to previous day low. It was able to take out the 7th September low. So a lot of selling activity happened yesterday. And what I was expecting today is more further continuation to the downside. So this was the close of yesterday, which I was monitoring, and I was seeing what is happening today. So if you see today's open. This was this is the close of yesterday, and this is where. So you see this red. So this is where today's open was, and what I was observing is what is happening. So the value was low. So yesterday's value, if you see, it opened within the yesterday's range or the yesterday's value. So what was happening is there was this HVN and there was this HVN. So I was just monitoring what is happening at this two HVN levels. So when it opened, it saw this rejection. Then I got a sort of confident that yes, this will touch this HVN and this will see further more continuation to the downside. And I was looking to see whether it reaches the 23rd August low. So that is what I was expecting, but I did not take a trade there because I was just watching what is happening, because overall I was expecting the open to be around yesterday's value area low or somewhere here or below the point of control. It opened higher, which gave me some sort of indication that something is changing in the market. Something is happening in the market. So let me just wait and see what is happening. So when the A period formed, it just touched this two HVNs, this HVN and this HVN. Then the B period formed. So B period, if you see, it was just at the tick. So this was one tick below yesterday's close. Let me zoom in a bit. We'll get more clarity. So this was yesterday's close. So this is not the actual settle or the actual close of yesterday. This is from the true data or which has been plotted. If you see, this close will be different compared to the website, the NSE website data, but I'm just using this as a point of reference. So what was happening is it tried to go below yesterday's low and buyers were coming in. The B period low, even it tried to break, but again the auction was not moving downwards. There was a sort of hesitation. One more thing which I was looking is I was also looking at the order flow charts. So what I was looking at the order flow charts. Okay, so I think my data is pretty screwed up. Uh, yeah, so this is what I was looking from the order flow perspective. So what was happening is, so just let me go to the low. The low is 10703. Okay, so what I was observing is 10703. So this is where the second, this is where the low was formed, and also if you see there were lack of buyers, so zero buyers, and only less sellers. So there were emotional or momentum sellers present, but there were less buyers. Also, I was seeing, looking at the COT levels, I was comparing this. Initially, there were big, huge sellers, and then the buyers were stepping in. One more thing which I was observing is, so if you see the delta, cumulative delta, so from after this, the delta changed. So, and it was just increasing, it was just increasing. So I was just observing, why is this delta increasing, and looking what is from the order flow perspective. Now, what happened is, when this break happened, so this is the B period low. So let me go back to the Nifty chart. So this was the B period low at 10708, and I was looking at order flow, what is happening there. So this is where, so there is a sort of imbalance here. There are good sellers and good buyers, but even so, this candle I was looking, there was lack of buyers coming in and lack of sellers coming in. Again, I was looking whether I'm able to spot any, is there something happening, because the cumulative delta became positive. So there was no clarity in terms of where the auction is going to develop. Now, when the C period formed, when the C period was developing, so it started developing somewhere here, and so it was trying to reach. So what I was observing is, I actually bought somewhere at this level. The reason why I bought it somewhere at this level is, first confirmation is the low is secure. Second confirmation is there is lack of sellers, so buyers are stepping in. Plus the cumulative delta became positive. So this was a very good trade location wherein I just went long here, keeping the A period low as my stop loss. So that was the thought process which I was thinking for my trading. And mind you, this trade does not always work. I have burned my fingers a lot, because the open was within yesterday's value area, and it was just trading in the value, or yesterday's range, so indicating very low confidence. But the reason why I took this trade is because I had some confirmation, and I was just taking a risk. So I am a risk taker. I was just trading with one lot, and so I was just wanted to see what is happening. One more thing which I would like to share is, I was also looking at the prominent, or the fairest price, or the POC, or the developing POC. The fairest price was rising higher. So yesterday's fairest price was here, and today's fairest price was above. So this also gave me some sort of biasness that yes, something is changing. Because if market were supposed to go down, it would have moved down in the A and B period, but C period it did not go. So I entered here, and the first target which I kept. So let me squeeze this. So the first target which I kept was yesterday's high, and the PPOC. So this was a PPOC from the 19th September auction. So this was a balanced profile followed by a continuation to the down move. Now to be very honest, I did not expect this such big wild move is going to happen. What I did is, I just took in the trade. It just took out the A period high, or the IB high. Again, the auction was developing below the level. When the D period formed, then it just shot up. So I was just looking at this, and the price, it just shot up, and this is where I was able to exit. So this was one trade entry, one long trade entry with one lot of Nifty futures. This is where I went long. Second thing, what I was monitoring is where the auction is going to end, because this was a pretty big move, a lot of emotional. One more thing is also, there was a news sentiment today. I did not expect, so I don't generally read the news. I don't generally trade the news. I just, based on the context, that's how I trade. So this is where I exited, and so this is how I was in a long trade. Now what was happening is, I was monitoring the 17th September high. So when the auction reached here, there was a sort of rejection which I saw, and the exit was at this level. Uh, so this is where I was planning this and this. So this was an anomaly. So this is where I was planning to exit. Luckily, I exited somewhere above this, but this was a good short entry trade. This was a quick scalping trade because uh, the reason why I took a short trade and went against the trend is this was a pretty big emotional buying. This was a new sentiment, and so I was taking another big risk of trading short. You should not do it. Only experience also. If you practice it, then only you can take this. This was a quick scalp. I was in a trade for I think like I think 2 minutes, max 2 minutes. I was in this short trade. If I had waited longer, then the profit which I earned here would have been evaporated. So I just took the two trades, and then I just, I was just patiently seeing what is happening. So what is happening? So this was a multi-day high. This was a multi-day high. Then what the auction is happening at this multi-day high and this multi-day high. So I was pretty much getting eager to short at this level and at this level because this D period when it came down and the E period was started forming. So this is where the E period forming. I thought this is a rejection. There is some exhaustion seen at the D period high, and I was thinking to short here, but I did not. The reason why I did not, trade is because I had very good to trade, pretty. So basically, the losses which I made during this event, during the inside days, during again this inside days, all the losses which I made this from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it all were covered in just two trades. So I did not want it to trade again. So I was just observing what is happening in the auction. One more thing which I wanted to tell you guys is in the first or the second episode, these are the reference areas which I shared with you guys that we will be clearing it out. So this was a pretty big rapid move. So when you see this sort of emotional, when the markets are going, don't jump in, don't short, don't go long, just wait, just observe what is happening in the market. Today I would say I was lucky enough to to take these two trades, and if I had much patience, so this was a pretty long move. So trading from here and exiting at today's close. So this was a 545 points move, man. That's pretty huge. But see, anyways, see, this is trading, guys. You never know whether you're going to achieve this. So always plan your entries, plan your exits, plan your trade location, and always trade as per your plan. Do not deviate from any of your trade plans, or else you'll be, burning your hard-earned money. So this is what happened in Nifty. From the volume spread analysis also, I was so this there was this VSS signal which gave me an additional confirmation. So that is the reason why I went long, and this was the HPN, and so these were the target areas which I was planning to exit. But man, what a splendid day it was today, and what a learning experience I had, because this one trade is good enough for your entire trading career. Just if you take this one trade in first year or second year, per year, if even if you are able to catch this move, man, this is pretty, so it boosts your level of confidence too high. Okay, so let me quickly go through the Bank Nifty chart. Now, in Bank Nifty also, I was monitoring what is happening. So these are the reference levels. So day before yesterday was a balanced profile followed by a down move. Again, this was a B shape. So this was one of the reference areas which I was monitoring. I was also monitoring what is happening at yesterday's low, what is happening at the close, and what is happening at the high. So let me zoom in a bit. So today's open. So this is today's open. It is, let me delete this all. So this is yesterday's value area, and today's open was above the point of control on, and it was above the value area high. Uh, so buyers were doing a good job yesterday for pushing the point of control higher. So today's open, it started rejecting, and this was the single print. So this was where the auction stopped. Also, this was an HVN line. So I was just observing. I was just observing what is happening. But when this thing happened, I switched over to Nifty. Then I did not got a chance to look at what is happening in Bank Nifty. But Bank Nifty also had a similar scenario like Nifty, and there were a lot of references. So this double mechanical reference, this peacock level. So there's multiple peacocks which got cleared in a single shot. So that this was again a pretty good auction. So tomorrow what I'm expecting is a lot of emotional buying is happening. We need to monitor what is happening at the highs, at the lows, at the halfback levels, because there are a lot of single prints, lot of single prints. So whether we see more continuation to the downside, or whether the open is within yesterday's range and we are seeing or we are seeing the auction developing downside. So that is what in case for the coming session, that is on Monday. Coming to crude oil. Uh, crude again. So what the reference levels which I'm monitoring is again the same, the range high. So yesterday I shared. So this was the overnight session. This was the levels which I shared, that this is where I went long, keeping the high as my target. I just took one trade. And if you see yesterday's US session, so US session, basically what has happened is we have a double distribution. We have a sort of a double distribution. So this was the reference level which you need to monitor, and the day low and the day high. So the session, so this is what is happening. So we had a sort of rejection here. So this was a good trade location to go short, keeping the target level as at this peacock level. So it did not touch there, but after that the auction was again developing higher. This was, if you have entered right from the beginning, this would have been a pretty good trade of 38 points for crude mini or mega, whatever is your preference. But this was a pretty good trade location. So what I'm monitoring in crude is, so right now the overnight market is in a balanced profile. It is just going sideways. So what is happening at the day high and day low, and also we need to monitor what is happening at this double distribution, whether the value is forming. So right now, if you see, the value is forming in the lower balance compared to the upper balance. So do we see any elongation, or do we see any continuation to the upside? And this range high, again, this is a very important reference to understand what is happening. But I'm getting a feeling that this will get cleared. Again, there will be some selling happening, and so there will be some sideways movement again, and see, and there was this big spike, a big emotional buying. So I'm just waiting to see whether this area, this is the single print area, whether it is getting cleared or not. So this is what I'm seeing, I'm expecting in crude, and let's see how the auction develops in the US session. So with that, I would like you to thank you guys, and would request you to please subscribe to my channel. Also, please feel free to share your feedback, comment in the below YouTube video, and let me know what are the things you need. Yesterday, I got a comment regarding the balance rules. How am I using balance rules, and what is the thought process, and why am I taking the trades, and how am I planning the trade location. So I'm planning to have a training session. I am still working on it. It's about 1 month away, but probably in the month of November is where I'm planning to start a training session, and help you guys to improve your market understanding, so that you can trade with much confidence, better confidence, even trade better than I trade. So that is in my pipeline, that is still work in progress, and I'll keep you posted. Also, one more thing is, I have posted, so I also got one more comment about what are the indicators I use, and what are the tools, and what is my system that I use. So that I have shared, that I have created a blog. So let me just share my screen. So I have created a blog called about my trading setup. So please do visit this, wherein I have, what is my trading system, what tools I use, what is the charting platform I use, which are the trading indicators I use, and which data feeds I use. So please do subscribe, and uh, please do check out this blog. And with that, I would like to thank you guys and thank you for your time. And take care and happy trading. So thank you guys. Bye for now.